everybody. Welcome back to the Fumble Live. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It is election day. Things might get a little bit crazy later here in LA, but hopefully we can just enlighten you guys to some sports news and take your mind off of the politics for a little bit, although we do have some political news to get into as well. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and share this video with your friends. Here's the Fumble Squad. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @Devin_Howard.
I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me everywhere at JRay the Fanatic. I saw you, Devin.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Happy Election Day. It's Britt Johnson. You guys can follow me on all social media at @IamBritt Johnson. Make sure you guys vote today.
And also, Britt, you're missing something. Oh,
okay. Are you ready now, Devin? Because you are going to be joining us for the very first time. Because I got to ask y'all a question. Ladies, what day is it today? It's Taco
Tuesday. Look at us with our I voted on. I'm so proud of us.
Yeah. I'm proud of us too. And we didn't even plan to all wear our stickers. We just did it. I love that. Yep. All right, you guys. Well, let's get into the first need to know news story. So this one's all about the Warriors and some hot water that they're in with the Dub Nation. They unveiled new uniforms yesterday, and they've been a little bit controversial. They look similar to what the team wore back in 1997 through 2010. They're dark blue. They're pretty straightforward. Leo, can you just roll that clip for us while I talk about it? So across the front of the jersey, it says Oakland. Watch this transition here. Oh, Steph doing the TikTok transitions. But it says Oakland, even though the team is now located in San Francisco. So in their tweet about the new look, they said, quote, Oakland is and will always be a part of our team's identity. Oakland Forever, presented by Rakuten, is a nod to the We Believe era and its turning point in Oakland's basketball history. To honor the town, we partnered with Nike to put a spin on these classic uniforms. So, the problem with these jerseys is that the team split from Oakland has not been very pleasant. There's actually a multi-million-dollar dispute heading to the state Supreme Court, and people think it's tasteless for the team to make money on the Oakland name without actually being there. There were tweets saying things like, Warriors bow to make hella money from these jerseys after abandoning Oakland. Another tweet that says, imagine releasing Oakland Forever jerseys while suing that same city over $40 million you owe in renovation debt. There's another tweet that says, a slap in the face to Oakland. If the Thunder ever wore jerseys that said Seattle on the front, I'd start a riot. Another that says, this is a special brand of tone deaf by Lake Gubs. And another one that says, the Warriors and their billionaire ownership left the city of Oakland and its proud citizens high and dry for richer pastors. This jersey is empty sentiment from wealthy people who think they can distract Know Your Enemy. There's a lot going on here. So, Jackie, I want to go to you first. Was it tone deaf for the Warriors to release this jersey, and what do you think they were thinking?
So yes, it's tone deaf to release a jersey, because that's just, you don't release a jersey when you're in the middle of a lawsuit. That's just, I don't even know where your mind is where you think that that's okay. There's no part of that is okay. I can see the players maybe, wanting to say, hey, let's not forget about our Oakland fan base. Let's make sure we include them. I could see the players wanting that sentiment, but the players didn't really put this out there like that. They don't really get that kind of say in this jersey. So this isn't a player jersey. This isn't something that they did. So yeah, I was I was reading through this story and I was trying to find that one line in it that made it make sense, and I couldn't find it. So I got nothing. This doesn't make an ounce of sense to me. I'm sorry. I feel bad for Oakland because it is a double whammy. You left and now you got a jersey
really
with
bad
our name
timing.
on it.
Britt, do you understand why Warriors fans are mad about this jersey? What are your overall thoughts and what's your reaction?
I immediately was mad about it. When I saw ESPN post it and the NBA post it, I literally went and did a whole entire paragraph. I'm surprised you didn't see mine in there because I remember the We Believe Warriors team, like with Stack and with freaking Matt Barnes, Monte Ellis, Al Harrington, Baron Davis. He was on that team right before he came to my Clippers. Like, I remember that team and how like gritty and how they just fought. And, you know, that was like their one moment when they thought they were going to be good. And then obviously they didn't at that time. But like that city, that team, everything, it all was like this one encompassing, like beautiful little like Cinderella story of like a moment, because that was kind of the only time they were actually even decent. And then to have them slap them in the face in the first place by leaving Oakland, even though we already, and then obviously at the same time, you have the Raiders who are leaving as well, and then have the Warriors who leave there, which the Warriors Stadium was the oldest stadium in the NBA. Like that stadium where they were at Oakland was the oldest stadium in the league. They just like asked like, hey, can we renovate it? Can we blah, blah, blah. But like the historical thing of just having that city that's been like circled around that arena and that team since I think it was the 1950s or early 60s or whatever, but it is the oldest stadium in the league. And to have that moment where then they leave as well. Same thing that happened with the 49ers when the Niners left and got a new stadium. Like everybody left literally just being around Oakland or being around the Bay or Alameda or different places like that to go to San Francisco. And then it was just like this whole thing. It was just, it's so tone deaf. It's like we were talking about it before the show, Jackie, read the room, right? Like this is read the room. Mm-hmm. Like we did not read the room here. I think it's just so tone deaf. And so, like, you guys should have probably worn that maybe your last season in Oakland if you guys know anything of it, like, you know, this goodbye, you know, to Oakland. But now, after you guys are already in your new stadium, and then you're going to rock these things, and really to maybe do something nice, you guys could donate some of that money back to maybe some of the community centers in Oakland, do something like that, because you guys took so many tax dollars out of the city. You guys are suing the city. It's just like this huge mess that I think is like horrible to do. Come on, Joe, wake up. Come on, my guy.
Yeah, this is the equivalent of getting a new boo and then having them wear your old boo's wedding dress on the wedding day. Like, what the hell are you thinking? I don't understand this.
Yeah, it's very confusing. I think it's not only disrespectful to Oakland, but I think it sends mixed messages to Dub Nation as well when they're based in San Francisco now, but repping Oakland on their jerseys. But Britt, the thought that you had about donating a portion of the proceeds or all of the proceeds from the jerseys, the sales of these jerseys to Oakland and different, community groups in Oakland would, I think, sort of mitigate the weirdness about this whole thing. But also my big question is, do you guys think that Warriors fans are even going to buy this jersey, or do you think that they're going to want to rep San Francisco where they currently are? Jackie, what do you think?
I think that was the hope. I think the hope was that Oakland Warrior fans are going to be like, oh, I can still like the Warriors and rep my city, so I'm gonna go out and buy this jersey. I think that was the hope, to pull them in and to have them hang on. But I don't think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna look at you like, nah, you can't do this to us. This is a slap in the face. This is just like, okay, yeah, we're leaving you, but take this. You know what I mean? I don't think they're gonna go for it. I don't think it's gonna sell well at all.
Britt, what do you think?
I think because there's nothing left in Oakland but the Oakland A's now, I think they might still, because we didn't really see, obviously, Raider Nation, the black hole was so upset when the Raiders went to Las Vegas, but there's still tons of Raider fans, and I think they're still going to now just drive down to Vegas and watch the Raiders. So obviously their situation was a little bit different because they were trying to get a stadium in Oakland, but they wouldn't allow them to build a stadium there. So that's why they had to move, because we all know they were playing at the baseball stadium this whole entire time, like the Oakland Raiders. So I think that's a little bit different, because it wasn't necessarily the team's fault, because they tried for years and years to get a stadium built out there. But I think it is kind of a weird moment. I think people are going to be like a little hesitant for a second, but I think they just for nostalgia's sake and just to like have the jersey to say they have it, I think they're going to buy it anyway.
And then,
would you buy it?
Surprised? Oh, sorry.
Like if the
good question.
If the Dodgers were suing LA and went to Podunk, Iowa, and made this throwback LA Dodgers jersey, would you buy it?
So I don't know. I have a friend though that was a huge Seattle Supersonics fan, and she was fine. She was sad, really sad, because she grew up from Seattle, whatever, really sad when Seattle moved to OKC. But she reps the Thunder now. Like, that's her team now. So I think there's like probably a transition moment where you're like, forget this. I mean, I'm not one of those burning jersey type of people, so I'm not going to burn anything that I did before. But I think it's probably an adjustment period. And then maybe the Warriors should have waited another season before they did this, or wait 5 years down the road before then they're like, hey, you guys remember in Oakland, you guys aren't salty anymore about it, so let's reintroduce these jerseys. But to do it immediately after like tearing down the stadium and like cutting the scissors for the new one is like, it's just too soon. But I think if they would have waited, and I think if I would have probably had a moment. I'm not buying the new jersey the next day, no. But like even now, I don't mind wearing like the San Diego Chargers. I have a San Diego Clippers hat. I have like stuff, you know, like I have the other teams, the Clippers, Brooklyn Dodgers. We're cool with the Brooklyn Dodgers now, like even though they were originally the Brooklyn Dodgers and then came over to LA. So I think if you give it time, it's a smoother transition to what the Warriors are trying to do.
So the time is key, and maybe settling the lawsuit is key.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. I think the most offensive thing about it.
Right.
I think, the most offensive thing about it is the fact that they are in the middle of this nasty lawsuit right now. So it feels very tasteless. Are you guys surprised that the big name athletes on the Warriors like Steph, Clay, that they didn't speak up and say like, is this really the time to be releasing an Oakland jersey? Or do you think that they saw nothing wrong with it? Britt, what do you think?
They can't say anything. They get paid by the Warriors. So of course they're not going to say anything. Right? I know they did. I remember when they had the ribbon cutting thing for when they were breaking ground on the new stadium, the only person there was Kevin Durant. So I think all the players that have been there with the team or whatever for X amount of years, like Clay, like Draymond, like they weren't feeling the new stadium. They didn't want to go, and none of them went to the opening or this ribbon cutting thing, but Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant didn't have ties like those other guys did. So I think they do have like a little bit of issue, because they did during the whole transition anyway. They were vocal about it at that time. They made sure they didn't attend and, take the pictures or whatever with them at that time. And that's why Kevin Durant and like a couple rookies were the only people there. So I think that they know what it means. And at this point though, they can't really, they get paid by them. They got to follow.
Well, it's an interesting move on the Warriors' part, but you guys, that wraps up Need to Know News. So Jackie, will you take us into the post up?
Yep, I'm excited because I'm continuing this post up blurry edition. You guys it's all the same over here, still blurry, which I love. All right, so you can see myself and the ladies were all rocking our I voted stickers. I got my Black Lives Matter earrings on because it is Election Tuesday. So if you haven't gone out and vote, make sure you do that. I personally am still baffled by the fact that pursuing equality is considered disrespectful to this country, but I guess that really just depends on who you're talking about or who you're talking to. But nonetheless, the same guy who thinks that we should probably shut up and dribble, or who co-signed on that whole narrative, your friend Agent Orange, is out here at his latest rally, getting his troops all riled up to chant LeBron James sucks. I'm going to show you this whole video because he also talks about basketball and the NFL and all that stuff that he doesn't want athletes talking about, politics. But here's this politician talking about athletes. So Leo, when you get a chance, can we throw that video up there?
Don't like. How about basketball? How about LeBron? I felt badly for LeBron. I felt very badly. Down 71%. And that's for the champion. I didn't watch one shot. I get bored. Back, forth. You know why? When they don't respect our country, when they don't respect our flag, nobody wants to watch. Nobody. And the NFL is way down. that the NFL is way down. You got to stand for our flag. You got to really be great to our flag and to our anthem. And if you don't do that, we're not watching.
There it is.
What a crowd. What a crowd.
That is ridiculous. He is literally inciting them on to continue on this whole LeBron James sucks narrative. This man has had how many people in the United States die on his watch from the pandemic? We've got an employment crisis. He's got literally things that have to do with politics to talk about, and he's taking this time out of his schedule to talk about LeBron James. I think Richard Marx said it best when he was like, he tweeted out, I forget this one. He says, you've got to stand for our flag and anthem. This a-hole who doesn't know the words to the anthem dodged the draft and called our military personnel suckers and losers. Did y'all forget all of that? Like, I don't understand how people can just hop on his bandwagon when, like, you've never heard him speak before. This is still baffling to me. I don't know why it's still baffling to me, but it is. And the fact that he brings up the NFL and the NBA is just blasphemous to me, because he's doing that because those leagues are predominantly Black. We've already talked about this, but let's throw up another tweet to remind you that the NHL, the MLB, all of them had the same problems, maybe because of the pandemic, maybe because a lot of other things are going on in our country right now. All of them had the same problems as far as viewership. WNBA, those shouts out to y'all because y'all's views went up. So we just had to shout you guys out really quick. But again, why not mention that if you're talking about views, Mr. President? Because these leagues are predominantly white. Is that why you don't mention that? I don't understand what he's doing, though. I got to give him one prop, though. I never thought I would do this, because this man is a man of his word. I want to throw up this meme because this was a direct quote that he gave to People magazine in 1998. Not this one. This is some tweets that are going to prove this meme that he did in 1998. This is a direct quote. This is not made up. If you have seen this in your timeline and you're calling it fake news, go run out to your local library, find yourself the 1998 version of People, and you will see he said this. He said, if I were to run, I'd run as a Republican. They're the dumbest group of voters in the country. They love anything on Fox News. I could lie and they'd still eat it up. I bet my numbers would be terrific. He said that, and you know how you can prove that? This same man that's out here talking about LeBron James sucks, and he's talking about he's not a good person and blah, blah, blah. Remember this one? 2015. Great shot by King James yesterday. LeBron is a tough competitor who delivers under pressure. Okay, and then this next one. Let's not forget this one. Congratulations to King James on winning Athlete of the Year in last night ESPYs. LeBron is also a great guy. Okay. So all of a sudden, the guy that's sending kids to school and doing more than a vote and is trying to really push for social change and equality, now he ain't worth a damn. But back then in 2013 and 2015, it was all about LeBron. And you know why? Because the man is sticking to his word. He is just inciting the masses, the fear, the hate, and the anger in the masses. He's just inciting it. So my question is for you, Devin. Why is LeBron still a part of his political speeches when he has all these other things to address? Like I said, the pandemic, the fact that he's backed by the KKK. And so why is it he's not addressing any of those things? And why is it okay that he can talk about an athlete, but he expects athletes not to address what he's doing or not doing as president of the United States?
Well, it's ridiculous. And I was surprised that he used one of his final moments, one of his final messages that he could make before the polls close. He used that to talk about LeBron. It's just ridiculous. Right. And I think the reason he's not addressing anything that's actually important is because he doesn't plan on doing anything about anything important. All he wants to do is incite these supporters, these audiences, get them all riled up, get them angry, probably to start crazy riots in the streets tonight. I just feel like all he wants to do is validate the aggravators of society. So I don't think he cares about anything important.
Britt, I know you remember all those moments from 45 and his quotes. What do you think about him using this moment to bash LeBron James when he literally has other things to talk about?
It's so disgusting and unfortunate, and he does go back and forth. He's like this thing that wants to tell athletes this, that, and the third, but he used half of his campaign stuff to say, guess what, guys, I brought the Big 12 back, like it's all on me.
Right.
And I did a whole break about like him trying to say he brought college football back, which he did not. But he was the one that said it was the reason why, because he was trying to get votes in Ohio and in Pennsylvania, where we have like Penn State and Ohio State playing and stuff like that, and the Michigan and all that kind of stuff. Like he was trying to get votes like that. The one good thing that is of this person is he knows how to instigate. He knows how to be sneaky. He knows how to, like take people's weaknesses and bring them even farther down. And that's what he's doing to all the Trump little supporters and like little fan group or whatever. Like he does not care about y'all, just FYI. And it's funny, like all the middle class people that like support him, because I'm like, he ain't doing nothing for you. Like it was so funny actually the other day, one of my friends posted of somebody that this guy was like talking about he like loves Donald Trump and yada yada, and then like his friend literally was in the background. He's like, dude, you're unemployed and you just got 2 DUIs this year. Like, what has Donald Trump done for you? And he's like, man, like, right. I mean, like, and I'm like, you're unemployed because of the pandemic right now. So what are we even talking about? Why is the pandemic where it's at with this man? But it's just crazy. It's unfortunate. And it was like, I literally saw it yesterday, right when it was happening. And I sent it to our producer. I was like, make sure this is on Post Up. And she's like, girl, I already got this. Like, this is one of the first things we talk about, because it's crazy. It's so stupid.
It's so funny because I was watching all these things and I kind of knew the same thing. I was like, oh, I know this is going to be in Post Up. But this is the one person in life that I would love to never, ever, ever, ever say Trump again. Like, even if I want to say, oh, my hand trumps your hand, I'm going to have to find a new word, because I just never want that phrase to come out of my mouth again. But anyway, so do better. I mean, hopefully we never have to have you do anything again. Hopefully you guys are out there voting, exercising your vote. Make sure you do. But now let's get to one of our favorite moments, because this happens all the time in sports, no matter what sporting event it is. I actually saw this happening in figure skating last year, which I thought was hilarious. But now it seems like Joe Burrow he's having his Josh Hart moment, and it's hilarious. Take a look. Oh, do we not? Okay, there it is. Oh, the question is, though, did he wait too long? I feel like he waited too long. Like, you can't leave your arm out there that long. It makes you look silly. Just bring it right in. Don't just leave. Isn't that what Josh Hart said? Don't leave it out there that long. You just got it. That's what he told AD, right? Just bring it in and just like, hey, are you coming back? Are you coming back? Right, Josh Hart. Sorry, but are you coming back? Are you coming back? Please come back. Please come back.
God. Why would he have thought he would have said he was running the opposite direction and he had already passed him? So why did he think that he would see him with his fist out? Like,
my thing is, it's like you, right?
Like, Josh,
like you've never worn a helmet.
Someone's facing the same direction as that,
right?
And Josh goes like this, but like when they've already ran past you and now their back is to you, and they got on, so they got their whole body
right. He was hoping, though. I love the desperation. Like, he's coming back. I know he is. It was so cute. It was so cute. And I'm not a Joe Burrow fan, but that moment was really cute. I really love it. So staying with the football, though, because you guys know I talk about the Browns really, really bad. There is a team that I talk about worse than I talk about the Browns, and that would be the Jets. I think all of us probably talk really bad about the Jets. So imagine, though, waking up on a losing franchise, and then you find out you've been traded, and now you're on your way to the only undefeated team in the NFL. How would you celebrate that? Just let me know. I'm going to show you really quick how Avery Williamson celebrated it by hitchhiking in the rain to Pittsburgh. I thought this was the cutest thing in the world, because I also expected to see Jets fans kind of drag him a little bit, but they did not. They were so supportive. I think I got a screenshot of someone. Yes, disappointed. We were losing you, and particularly going to miss you, your awesome Instagram presence, but go get a ring. And then I think we have one more. Yeah, everybody was just so nice to him. You are a true team player, positive attitude, lots of hustle, and always giving your 100%. Best of luck, man. Go get that ring. Fun having you go win a championship. Dude went to sleep 0-8, woke up 7-0. All these Jets fans are super supportive. So I'm wondering, though, are they just super supportive because they know they suck that bad and they just want better for him? Or are they just a really cool fan base? Ladies, I'm going to start with you, Devin. Do you have an answer?
I think it's definitely the first one. They're just like, we just want to see you succeed, man. You're not going to do that here. I don't think that they're just a good fan base. We know how most fan bases are, and they're not usually that positive and happy and excited for somebody leaving. So I think that they just know that he can't achieve the success that he wants to achieve over there.
Yeah, Britt, do you agree?
Yeah, for sure. Like, if they had a semi-decent record, like, they would not be, like, saying, like, those things. You know, it's because they are, at this point, the Jets want to lose every game because they want to get a top draft pick next season. So now that it's past that halfway point, or we're at that halfway point, let's just lose the rest of these games so we can get a good pick next year. So they're like, goodbye to all of our decent players. Nice knowing you guys. We need to go and start rebuilding this team. So I think that's exactly what it was. I love, though, that this guy, Avery, had his whole uniform on.
Right. In the rain.
Everything on. He had everything on. Like, that was like so epic. Like, I don't even know.
I thought it was so cute. He's like, I'm gonna do my umbrella too. Like, who gonna pick me up and take me to that was the best.
He had his helmet on. He good. He just probably played in the rain, and he was totally like, nope, like, I need my umbrella, my hitchhiking thumb,
so
and my whole
cute. Whole outfit. I loved it.
I'm not showering. Get me out of
nothing. Oh, all right. Here's another one, you guys. Now, this one is our title one. I see some of you guys already talking about it in the chat. You know, the unanimous decision, no matter how blurry we get here on the Fumble, we are all clear in our dislike for Tom Brady. None of us on this panel like Tom Brady because we do think he is a crybaby. Now, I'm not necessarily sure this moment in time is, but he was super pissed off because he just got sacked. He is not the most sacked quarterback in the NFL, but he decided to act out. Here's a part about this that he was going to slam it on the bench, but then he thought about it and he's like, that might mess up my helmet. Let me turn around, or let me I don't know what his thought process is, but I don't want to hit it on the bench because it might pop up and bust me back in the face because it's a steel bench. So he decides to punch it on the ground. And of course, we all call him a crybaby. A lot of people are calling him a crybaby. But he was sacked. But they ended up winning this game. So who cares, kind of. But I do think that Tom Brady is one of the biggest crybabies. I'm going to give him a pass on this one because at least he's taking his frustration out on the sideline. We have seen him sit on the field and literally waste time crying like a little kid on the field. I'm going to give him a pass for this one. So am I the only one, ladies? Am I the only one that's given Tom Brady this one time? This is an okay, frustrated moment.
My guy almost lost to the New York Giants. Do you remember the last big loss he had against the New York Giants? Oh, yeah, when the Patriots were about to have an undefeated season, and then the 8-8 Giants went with Eli Manning leading the way and beat him in a Super Bowl. The NFC East barely made the playoffs, 8-8 Giants. Yeah, he does not have good energy with the Giants. He's still salty about those moments. It's the same reason why he doesn't shake Nick Foles' hand. He has an issue with the Giants as well. And to have this moment, because they only won by 2 points, to have this moment where literally the Giants look like they were about to beat y'all, that Giants team that's only won one game all season, no. I understand your frustration here, Tom. You should be mad. You should be disappointed. You should go cry in the car after this. Like, even though you guys did win, but like that was just too close for comfort. So I totally get why he was like that.
Okay, so we got 2 passes, Devin. Are we going to make it a unanimous pass for Tom Brady on this one?
So here's the thing. I always feel like men look like children when they get angry and get aggressive like that, like when they start hitting things or throwing things. I always think they just look so silly. But I mean, like, I get it. I understand when people get frustrated and what they want to do is just like smash something, but I still think it just looks dumb. I'll give him a pass just because I really don't care that much about Tom Brady, but like, I don't know, whatever.
Right. All right, so now we're going to move on. So, Leo, I need you to do me a favor and not put up the title for this next one really quick, because I am not good at whose boo is what, all that. That's not my forte. That is Devin's forte. So I want to throw this picture up real quick and ask 2 questions. First, Devin, do you know who the guy is in this picture? I'm going to take that as a no.
Wait, no, I was muted. I mean, it's Tyler Hero, isn't it?
Okay, good job. My second question is because I really I thought she'd probably see that. Did you squint and see that, Devin? You probably did.
No, I have my screen really small. I have the window really small, so I can't read anything.
Okay. I gave Tom Brady a pass. I'm going to give Devin a pass. Okay, my second question is, whose booty is hanging out like that? I don't know who that is. Whose booty is that?
It's got to be Katya Elise Henry.
That's his boo. That's his girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't keep up with, because it's going to change in a couple weeks. So I have no reason to commit who's dating who to memory. So that's
it's
Katya.
It's Katya. Mm-hmm.
Okay. My final question is, what is their costume supposed to be? What are they supposed to be?
I have no idea. What even is it? I don't know.
He looks like a sexy schoolgirl, and he looks like, put it back on him again. He looks like I don't know, a bad dresser, a fool. Elvis. Is that like Elvis?
Yeah.
Elvis wears cornrows. When does Elvis have cornrows? I ain't never seen Elvis have no cornrows.
If Elvis was black, that would be what Elvis looks like. But
gotcha,
with the white, but still white though. I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay.
James Brown, because James Brown used to wear that little thing on his head like that.
James Brown. I thought he was trying to be Tupac.
Have to do with each other?
Tupac?
I don't know.
I thought he was trying to be Tupac. Tupac used to wear with the little bandana.
Halloween, and that is what you wear, my guy. Like, I will show you what Tupac wears. I was Tupac for Halloween.
Did Tupac ever wear a white satin suit like that? I don't think I've ever seen a picture of Tupac in a white satin suit.
It was polyester.
I don't know. Kevin Bryan in the chat says it's a pimp outfit, so that would make her. Never mind. We should probably just move on from this, because this is so let's move on now. So, speaking of braids, I am a big fan of the natural afro, the big hair. I feel like, especially when we're talking about African American hair, I'm 4C. My hair is 4C in the building. If y'all are out there and y'all know what that is, praise God for you. Our journey is rough. But I feel like we as women, we have it much easier as far as styles, because we can throw a weave in if we want to. We can braid it if we want to. We can go natural. We can do whatever the hell we want. Guys, we either have natural, cut it, or braid it. So AD wants to know from us if he should cut his hair, which has grown out very well, I might say, or if he should braid it. He posted it on his Instagram. I voted. I'm going to show you that right now. So if we could post it up. And then ladies, I want you to tell me if you think he should cut it or if he should just keep it and braid it. Okay, so here it is. I like it. It's grown so much. Cut it or braid it?
Cut it.
What do you think, Devin? Ooh, I said braid it. And 61% of people agree with me. So, Devin, what do you think?
I like the braids. I think I would like the braids on him.
I like the fro too, though. Y'all ain't feeling the fro?
No.
I don't mind the fro.
And he also needs to wax his eyebrow. I'm
no, absolutely not. We are not. No. No.
No one fears the brow. Nobody does. Okay.
No. AD. Okay, get him off the screen, Leo. This is ridiculous. Don't listen to them. Never ever in your life wax the eyebrow. do it. That is your signature thing. Don't do it. I will have to come for you and draw it back in. Look at that. It's beautiful. Look at his eye. It's beautiful.
I remember that one time. I was working for the Pelicans I was working in Louisiana as a sports reporter, and it was when he was with the Pelicans, and it was like a April Fool's thing or whatever, and he posted a picture, and it was gone, and I was just like, he looks so much more handsome with it. Like, it made such a huge difference. Eyebrows make a big difference. Now, granted, I don't touch my eyebrows. I don't pluck them. I don't tweeze them or wax them. I don't do anything. But I have decent eyebrows. I don't like his eyebrows. It's just too much right here. Then with the hair too, that's just too much cousin it going on right here. And
Y'all see what Britt did, right? She said, if you don't have perfect eyebrows like mine, you got to fix them. That's what she just said. I don't know if you picked up on that, but no. So,
I don't have a lot of people say, but I got some good eyebrows.
I'm going to tell you right now, AB, I love your eyebrows. I love when people can kind of embrace. Same thing I said with Strahan. Never fix the gap in your teeth. I love it. I think it's beautifully you. It's uniquely you. I'm all for it. If you got some weird eye in the back of your head, then maybe move that to the front. But other than that, just embrace your imperfections. They're fine. Sticking with basketball, guys. We all know and love Steph. We talk about him a lot. I'm wondering, though, if he's going through, my wife is getting a little hot thing, because we know Steph Curry is that skinny, fun-loving kid. I got a few pictures of him, like this one. This skinny kid is Steph. He's skinny. He's cute. He's fun. He's the guy that makes threes and does a little wiggle. Oh, he's fun-loving, cute Steph. Just fun. But now his wife's out here. Now she's lost some weight, and she's posting all these thirst traps. Now I'm wondering if he's trying to do the same, because who the hell is this? Who is that? That looks like Sexy Thanos to me, which is my nickname for Aaron Darnold. Who the hell is that? Who
is that? So much muscle, so much mass. Right. What a bulky guy. I am shocked. It looks like they superimposed his face onto someone else's body.
Yeah. They're doing the Alex Caruso that they did last year. That's Alex
y'all don't even think that's Steph?
Well, I think it is. It just looks like a Photoshop.
No, I don't know, but I'm here. You don't think it's a real? Okay, because it was posted on, this isn't even on his page. It was posted by NBA Uruguay, and they tagged him in it, and he didn't even accept the tag. So maybe you guys are right. Maybe it's not him. But if it is him, I would just like to take this moment to say, okay, Steph, okay. Mm-hmm. That's working out. All right, so we've talked about that. Yeah, the glow up is real. When your lady start glowing up, you better keep up. And if that's a real picture, he's definitely doing it. So we've talked about tattoos a lot on this show. You guys know I have several tattoos. I'm definitely going to get at least one more. My plan is to wait until I meet LeBron James in person and either get his signature or his initials and get that tattooed somewhere on my body. I can just personally feel Devin and Britt's non-approving face. But they probably will approve of that before they approve of this next tattoo, because this is a giant back tattoo that I actually thought was a shirt. I didn't think it was a tattoo when I first saw it. This is hideous.
Wow. I don't like it at all.
No, and to add insult to injury, that's on a grown man. What man puts a big old man like this on their back?
It's so like dark. Like if it had been lighter shading, it's so intense. I do not like that at all.
I don't either. Britt, what do you think?
I think it's disgusting.
It looks terrible, right? And the folds, there's a point.
I mean, at least you always say, "Oh, what if people get kind of big?" He already is kind of big, so. Right. What happens when he gets skinnier, though, and it starts sagging?
Then LeBron starts looking like. Well, why do you put
back under his eyes, and
why do you put a shoe a shoe right under LeBron's face. Did you see that? Can we see it one more time, Leo? Y'all see that shoe right under his face?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, and then I think it's interesting that he decided to go with LeBron in the Cavs jersey. Is what it looks like on the side.
It is.
So I was,
and so what I'm assuming is,
and he's like, "Hey, LeBron, look what I just did. Come back." I don't know. Come back.
Oh, that's a reach if that's what he's trying to. Oh, I love Cardi joking. That was so good. Oh my God. All right. Well, this is getting a definite no from me. And look, I know last time we talked about it, and people who had LeBron James fans were apparently better fans than me. If I have to get this kind of fan to prove, kind of tattoo to prove I'm a fan, I don't want it. I'm fine with my little bobblehead, and that's it. That's ridiculous. So let's move on again to Delonte West. Now, you guys know about Delonte West. He's a guy who played in the NBA. He had a really hard time while he was in the NBA. He was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but he chose to not get that treated. You guys drugged me to hell and back for that, because I said at some point personal responsibility does have to kick in. There's been times when people have reached out to help him. It didn't work because he's refused treatment for whatever reason. But you also know that one of my personal idols, Mark Cuban, has stepped in. He played his last season with the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, Mark Cuban owns that team. So Mark Cuban has stepped in and offered some assistance. And Mark Cuban wanted to show us that he is doing much, much better. And he posted these pictures onto Twitter and said, just to kind of let us know what's going on. So I want to take a look at these really quick. And it does look like he's happier. He's doing a lot better. He's going kayaking. And Mark Cuban says, because we all want something to feel great about today, here is your Delonte West update. It's still an uphill battle, but he is climbing, which I think is great. I think it's beautiful. This is probably the healthiest any of us have seen him in a very, very long time. So I definitely want to shout him out for that. But I have to agree a little bit with this next tweet. This comes from a Twitter user who's a little concerned. He says, please stop doing this. As a DC guy, I'm really pulling for him. The updates create a narrative that he'll be fine, which no one can be sure of. Please let him recover in private. You can make him public later when he is more likely to be successful with his recovery. And I totally agree with that. Just because we have seen this man fail so many times, and I don't think we want to get his hopes up too much, because yeah, it's great to have these smiling moments, but there's obviously a level of pressure that he's not able to take when life gets too hard. So let's not put this pressure on him. Let's let him recover in private, get better, do better. I love what Mark Cuban is doing. I know he just wants to make us all smile and show us that, hey, these good things can happen if you just put in the work. But I'm just afraid that he might relapse. So I agree with that second Twitter user. You guys, what do you think? Do you think that this is a good tweet? This is just one of those moments with everything that's going on in our country that Mark Cuban is just trying to lift our spirits? Or do you think, like that Twitter user said, that we should just wait until he's further into his recovery and has a better chance of success? Britt, what do you think about that?
I think it's a good tweet because I don't think Delonte West is on social media or on like the internet, so I don't think he's seeing these things. And I think it's kind of just putting out in the universe like, hey guys, keep like praying for him, keep sending positive energy his way. And it's kind of obviously just for us to keep bringing positive energy towards him, but I don't think he's seeing this. So I don't think that he's like going to be personally affected by the post or not, because I don't think he's on social media at all. I don't even think he's probably usually when you go in facilities like that, you're kind of disconnected from like even using phones or whatever it is. People have to actually go visit you to even talk to you. So I think he's not being affected by it. Not seeing any of it.
Yeah, I hope that's true. Devin, what do you think?
I understand what that person was saying when they were like, please don't create this narrative that he is going to be okay, because yeah, as we've seen before, he's resisted getting help for a long time, and now that he finally is, there's no guarantee that it's going to take. But I do think that Mark Cuban realizes that people want to have an update about Delonte. People are invested in his recovery. They want to know how he's doing. Right. And like Britt said, if he's not on social media, he may not even be feeling the pressure. But if there is any sort of sensitivity surrounding this, Mark could obviously just like send out a tweet like, quick Delonte update, he's doing fine, you know, we'll keep you updated, as opposed to like sharing the photos and all of that. But I don't really have a problem with any of it. I can see both sides.
Yeah, I definitely could see both sides because I'm with Britt, and I think that we all, just like you said, wanted to know, and then seeing these pictures does make us kind of say, okay, we're still rooting for him. And with everything that's going on in our country right now, I think we just do need a feel-good moment. We need to see some guy that was going through some stuff, and he's doing all right now. But on the flip side, I get what that Twitter user was saying too, and I think I want him to be okay so much that I don't even want somebody going to visit him and be like, oh, look, people are rooting. I don't even want him to, see that. I just want him to be okay, so we don't have to kind of go down this road and see him on the street once again. But that is all that I have for the post-up.
All right, and we are switching things up a little bit today. We are going into Britt's takes next. So Jackie, do you want to do the intro and I'll do the vocals?
Okay, because it is time for Britt's takes.
Britt's takes.
All right, guys. I have decided to be my best Maxine Waters and use my time to talk about this election. So obviously today is election day. It is a huge day. We all on the panel voted already. I actually technically voted like a month ago, but I saved my sticker to wear it today as whatever side it's on, as the other ladies did as well. We all kind of voted early, but to make sure everybody used their time today and went out at some point to vote. I actually have some stuff that maybe you guys didn't know about. Leo, if we can throw up the first one here. So if you have not registered to vote yet, and you are maybe watching this, or you're starting to like have FOMO about like, dang, everybody voted but me, you can still vote. You can still register to vote in these states here. So these states that are listed: Colorado, Connecticut, DC, Hawaii, California is actually one of them as well. It's just the California mayor or governor that said this. California's on there, Hawaii, Idaho. You guys can read down the list. Your state, if it is on here, you can actually go to any polling place in person today and go and register to vote and vote at the same time, and your vote will be counted. So make sure you do that. I also wanted to show you guys the polling times. Most places will polling at 8 o'clock tonight, but there are some that's 7 o'clock, like Alabama, Oklahoma. You can read down the list, South Carolina and stuff. So make sure if you are one of the places that is an earlier polling place for stopping, you guys get there on time. If you are in line at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or whatever the case is, you can still vote. So if it is 7:55 and you are running over to the poll and you get in line by 8 o'clock, legally they have to let you vote. Do not let anybody tell you any different. Make sure you're in line by 8 o'clock or 7, and there's a couple of them that are 7:30 on here. So just make sure, and New York is actually all the way till 9 o'clock. So make sure you're just in line by the time that the polling times stop, and then you'll be good to go. If you have already voted like me and the other ladies on this panel, and you still want to be active today and help out, go to Starbucks, grab some coffees, go get a case of water bottles, and go drop them off to some people that are waiting in line. There's going to be people in line for hours and hours. I had a friend that went yesterday. Voter suppression is real. The polling place she went to, all of a sudden, every single computer stopped working, and they were telling people to come back, and they were like, no, we have time. We're going to stay here. So if you guys just want to go, show up. Make sure you do not obviously most states will not allow you to wear any campaign gear. So don't wear like a Biden or hopefully please don't wear a Trump shirt or hat or whatever. Actually, Trump people, you can wear your stuff so you guys could get kicked out of there. But if you are, do not wear any campaign stuff. You can wear shirts like I have on that say just vote on them. But make sure that you're not wearing any campaign gear when you go up there. But yeah, if you want to go out there, hand out some, granola bars or whatever to kind of keep people encouraged. I actually have a friend who is a singer, and he actually flew to Detroit today because obviously they have have had a lot of incidences with voter suppression and this, that, and the third. And he is going out there. He's going to be singing and performing and stuff outside of polling places and just handing out waters just to keep people and encouraged while they wait in line for hours and hours to make sure these people don't leave. Please don't leave. Stay there. Stay and vote. even if it's coming close to the 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock mark, if you are in line, you will still legally be allowed to vote. So make sure you guys do that. Also, vote with kindness, vote with empathy, and vote with love. This day is really hard for a lot of us. If it happens to not be difficult for you, it is because you are very lucky, and this day is not going to affect your future. It's not going to affect your rights, and it's not going to affect your life, but it will affect a lot of other people. So please make sure you think of that when you are voting. I did obviously want to add a little sports thing to this, which is actually maybe another silver lining, something kind of like Mark Cuban gave, because we know all of us mourned the loss of Kobe Bryant earlier this year, but he has given us some shining little trinkets throughout this year. One of them obviously being for the city of Los Angeles when the Lakers won. That was huge. And then he gave it to us right again with the Dodgers. So I didn't get the trinket for the Lakers thing, but I did get it for the Dodgers. So thank you, Kobe Bryant. He must be really close with God because he helped us out on that one. But today, Kobe Bryant, please talk to God up there, because you have been in good favor this year with the Lakers and Dodgers winning. Today, actually, the first day, the debut day that Kobe Bryant stepped on the court for the Lakers, guess what? 24 years ago today. So if that is not any good luck, any good moment that we could have, and something that we can look forward to, and hopefully Kobe, shine some more love down on us today, because today is 24 years to the day that Kobe Bryant first stepped on the court and had his debut with the Los Angeles Lakers. So if that isn't some silver lining that I think hopefully would transition into something great happening with this election, I don't know what is, but yeah, I just wanted to say that, and make sure everybody votes. It is so important. And that is it for Britt's take. My take is, I used my time, talk about voting today.
Good job. I love it.
Thank you for doing that. Such a good message. Yeah, you guys get out there and vote. It's so important. We all have our right to do it. So thank you so much for that, Britt. And then Jackie, right after Britt has told us what we need to do, can you tell us what we're not going to do?
Good transition.
What we not great transition. So what we're not going to do is not pay attention to what Britt said. Yes, absolutely, get out there and vote. I do want to say, too, if you don't vote, then don't complain about anything. And if somebody's complaining to you about what's going on in the world politically, just know that even though we don't know who you voted for, who voted and who did not is public record. So I can Google you and find out if you voted or not. And if you didn't, don't talk to me about anything that happens in this next 4 years. But staying on that narrative, here's the thing that I love about King James is he's always tried to make things better for us. He's got this More Than a Vote campaign that he's pushing right now. We know that in 2015, he sent 1,000 kids to college with his own money. And right after that, he started the I Promise School, which his foundation foots most of the bills for. We've talked about this before. I've seen a lot of you guys in the chat say, oh, taxpayers pay for that. That's true to an extent because it is a public school. He didn't make it private because he wanted everyone to have an opportunity to go there. And public schools have to be taxpayer funded in some way. But the I Promise School the majority of it is funded by the LeBron Foundation. So, and all of that comes from either LeBron's pocket or money that he raises for that specific school, which is amazing. But then he's taking that an extra step forward with his making sure that everyone gets a right to vote. And this is so personally beautiful to me because I've never understood why people who pay their debt to society, that's what prison's supposed to be, don't have a right to vote. And especially if you're considering it as a rehabilitation time, which I know in this country it's not. In other countries, it really does work. They actually do have rehabilitation programs. For us here, it's more of a money scheme, and it's definitely a preschool to prison pipeline, especially in the minority communities. But when you get out, I still believe you've paid your debt to society. There should be no justifiable reason why you can't come out here and have the same rights as everyone else, especially with regards to voting and getting a job. Because if you don't, you're more than likely to repeat crimes anyway. So I'm really proud to tell you guys that LeBron has helped nearly 13,000 felons become eligible to vote with the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition, and that was supported by LeBron James. And big surprise to me, it's also supported by Michael Jordan. Ariana Grande, and then a businessman, Michael Bloomberg. That Michael Jordan one is huge to me because he's probably a decade late in actually getting into this fight with us. So I'm really proud of him for doing that. Also, the people that are going to benefit the most from this, 80% of the felons who can now vote in Hillsborough, Palm Beach, Polk, and other areas in Florida are not white. 74% of them are Black, actually. So again, we know that Black people are negatively impacted by the judicial system in this country more than any other demographic. So I'm really excited that LeBron is taking his More Than a Vote campaign and taking it to the next level to make sure that everyone who is out in the free world has a right to vote. I really applaud him for this because outside of Ali, I'm just not sure that there's anyone else that's really devoted so much of their life to making life better, especially for people who look like him and for young people. So I'm really excited about that. So what we're not going to do is sleep on LeBron James. What we're not going to do is not exercise our right to vote. It is power in your vote. So make sure you do that. And that's all I got for my segment today.
So to Jackie's thing, in the state of California on our ballot now, we have Prop 17, which is actually to change the law and get a constitutional amendment to allow people that are on parole or have a felony the right to vote. So vote yes on Prop 17, and that this will just be in Florida. We can move this into California too and have this something that can be, a huge change in our state as well. So if you're in California, vote yes on Prop 17 because this is just exactly what LeBron James in Florida.
And no matter where you are, you guys need to really read up on your local politics. If you're not going to vote for the president, that's fine. But 75% of what impacts you happens on a local level. That's why there's so many differences from state to state. So make sure you do the research on what's going on locally, all the props, all the governors, senators, whatever. Make sure you do your research and make sure you go out there and vote. Judges are really important.
Yes. Definitely. Thank you guys so much. So inspirational and informational.
High five, Britt.
This side.
We only
okay.
But you guys, that wraps up our show for the day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, you already have heard it a bunch of times throughout the show, but get out there and vote. It really makes a difference. Your vote matters. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel because that matters as well. Every subscription counts, you guys. So make sure you subscribe, tap the bell for notifications. Give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Wear a mask. Vote, you guys. Wear a mask.
Yeah, especially if you're standing in line. Yes, very important.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Shout out to the first-time voters. Woo-hoo!
Yes.